Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. It's episode 74. I was so tempted to give you a rhyme right there, but I know that Steve would just try to banish me off of this show if I delivered with that. So another rhyme-free episode for you.
I would just unplug my modem and be like, shit, the internet broke. Guess we can't do an episode. Guess you can't rhyme 74 with some kind of horror or whatever you were thinking.
I wasn't going that direction, but okay.
No? All right. Well, that's good. Because we don't want to do bad rhymes the day after Superman Day.
Superman Day?
Yeah, it was like yesterday we were initially going to record. I was going to mention that it was Superman Day. It was the day Superman was introduced to the world 84 years ago. And the fucking guy don't look a day over 28. He's aging well. But anyways, this episode, 74, before we get into things, I do want to do a quick shout out. Last week, we talked with the horror host, Mr. Lobo, and we did mention early on in the episode that we wanted to ask him about his podcast and have him tell us about that. And we kind of went in weird directions and didn't really bring it up.
As we do.
I just want to kind of do a quick shout out. Tell everybody he has a great podcast called Sleepless Nights Podcast. And that's a DD cast to emphasize the odd in the middle there. So the Sleepless Nights is spelled with a K, Knights. And you can listen to it in most places. I find it on Spotify personally. It's Mr. Lobo co-host podcast. So check it out. And sorry we didn't mention it last week when we said we would. We're some dirty goddamn liars. But hopefully you forgive us and head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/SteveCrypto. And I actually just put up some of our, what would we call it? Some outtakes and some pre-show warm-up banter audio that some good, some not as good, some unfortunate, but all entertaining. We put some up for our patrons. So if you are a contributor there, you have access to it. I'm going to try to do. I like to get at least one bit of audio up every month. Maybe a video. We're about due to probably make another video soon to put up for sure. But that's at patreon.com/SteveCrypto.
That's right. Whether you forgive us or not, please go visit Patreon, become a member, go check out that content.
I prefer they're feeling more forgiven when they go. But what's other ways they could promote us and support us?
Well, we are, of course, on the social medias, so you can follow us.
I like how you pluralize that. The medias.
We're
on the Twitters and the TikToks.
Yeah, we're on there with all the cool cats and the hip kids. So follow us at the Steve Strout, at CryptoZoo88. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. We also have a Facebook group. Just look up the Steve and Crypto Show. Go on there. Doesn't really cost anything. Just become a member of the group and you can keep up to date with everything we got going on. Plus extra stuff that we just decided to throw in because it's fun and we think people that are listening to this show might enjoy it. You are also encouraged to contribute to that page yourself if you would like. And if you're working on something, you can throw a little sample in there and show people what's coming out. Or maybe if you have a friend that's working on something and they aren't a member of the group yet, you can kind of nudge them and say, hey, throw something in that group over there. You should go check them out.
Yeah, give me a little nudge. Give me a little nudge.
Yeah.
And then after you nudge them to the Facebook group, nudge them on over to our merch page on Etsy. Just go Etsy, search, not sturch. I don't think searching will get you anywhere.
Go to the search column.
Yeah, search for.
What are they going to type in that search column?
Search for Steve and Crypto. You just search Steve and Crypto, and it'll pop up to our merch store, our merch shop, and we got some T-shirts and mugs and magnets, and that's what we got. A couple different T-shirt designs, both really cool. But that's the merch shop over on Etsy. Track it down, get a shirt, support us, represent us, look really fucking cool doing it.
That's right.
As cool as you can.
Yep. Support your third favorite podcast. We appreciate it. Tell your friends if they like pop culture, if they like horror, if they're into things of that nature, then come check us out.
Yeah, do that. You could even visit our Buy Me a Coffee page. It's buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. Of course, it's like a tipping type service where you could go and throw a little something down to help support the show and help us upgrade and grow and all that important stuff that we need to do to help nurture. That's what we say, nurture. Help nurture our show. Help nurture our growing amazing show. So yeah, all those ways to support us. Last week, like I mentioned, we talked to Mr. Lobo. That was a great talk. Interesting. Got a little weird. He has some crazy ideas for TV shows and movies that he would like to make someday. So hopefully he does that, because I kind of want to watch that weird shit. We kind of last couple episodes, we didn't really do our usual rambling, long, dragged out intros because we had I had family in town and a bunch of other stuff going on, and just catching up on life stuff. But we made sure put the effort in to get shows out for you guys because we think you guys are starting to like us. So we did that, and then once I started getting kind of caught up on things, I don't know if you follow. He mentioned our social media. I was on there bitching about my computer. It's kind of on its last legs. So 2 weekends ago, I had family. Last weekend, I spent hunting around the damn countryside for a new computer. Of course, I couldn't find the right one yet, but I'm working on that. So if we have any delays in getting episodes out or anything, sorry, I'm poor, but we'll get there. So yeah, it was a crazy, tough couple of weeks. And before we talk about interesting things, kind of want to do a little shout out for, I guess not a shout out, but just take a moment to mention last week we lost another entertainer that was kind of interesting, funny, and a big part of this community in Gilbert Gottfried. Like, he's had his podcast. He's a huge Monster fan. He's a fucking beast of a comedian. Just one of the ballsiest, funniest dudes like ever. And he passed away last week. And that's kind of
it's really sad news.
Yeah. But it's rough. Not much has been going on with this. I mean, we got a lot of great stuff coming up. And the next couple of weeks, we'll have another one of our horror host profile episodes on. And we'll have the iconic, legendary Hall of Famer Count Gore Duvall, who's been coming up on his 50th year as a horror host, which is crazy. That interview was great. You're gonna dig that when that drops in the next couple weeks with Count Gore Duvall. Over this past week, when things started to settle down a little bit, I've been searching for little bits of news and shit to chat about. There ain't really been that much. We got a few things we'll mention here that are a little bit intriguing. I did get a chance to watch X finally. And I know I'm kind of late to the party with that one, but that was that's my pick for probably the best horror film in the last year.
Really?
Really.
That's saying a lot.
In the last year. It was very it felt very, like Toby Hooper, Texas Chainsaw feel to it, the original. Very 70s, lots of sex and gore and boobies and disturbing stuff. Not boobies aren't disturbing, but disturbing stuff and boobies. Like there's a really scene that kind of bugged me a lot. Like it was gross. It was old people doing it. Spoiler alert.
Ew.
But yeah, that's what I thought. Like I was watching it, like Ryan was in the other room doing stuff.
Oh no.
Working in another room, and there was a lot of scenes like in the beginning of it. Everybody knows the story of the movie. It's this group of younger people set off in Texas, or I think it was Texas, to film an adult film. So of course there was scenes when they're filming, and there's sex scenes, and there was the music that goes with those scenes in the late 70s, early 80s forms of those movies, and the noises that come with that stuff. And that's all she heard from the other room. And she's like, "Are you watching a porno?" And she's like, "No." And I told her what movie. Every once in a while she'd come in and look at it for a minute or two and like laugh or like, ew, like. And she came in and the old people scene and was like, nope. Ew. But yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, it's available to stream now.
Oh, is it?
So
where is it at?
It's
Where can you watch it?
basically everywhere.
Okay.
Like Amazon, Vudu, all them places. I think it's like $20 on demand.
Okay.
But it's good, man. I'm definitely not disappointed I spent $20 on it. I am disappointed I didn't go see it in theaters because that was crazy. And it was good. Good.
So it's definitely worth watching.
A little some brutal shit. It was good, man. I loved it. It was a great story, like the makeups were crazy. It was filmed, shot like beautifully. It's hard to explain, but it was just good, man. It was a good fucking movie.
Now, I might be wrong. Is that another recent release with Jennifer Ortega?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She was in it.
She's kind of a new age scream queen. You could say. I mean,
been in every damn horror movie so far, and she's gonna be in more stuff. So
yeah,
she was in Studio 666. She was in
Scream,
5 Cream.
Yeah,
she was in this, and if I'm not mistaken, she's gonna be Wednesday.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
So like they're trying to make a star out of her, and I think she has quality. You know what I mean? To actually do that. Just keep getting these cool roles. Like I'd hate to see. I feel like she's a good actress. I hate to see her typecast as, a scream queen type, but I kind of like her in that role. So
yeah, I mean, it's a good avenue to start in. A lot of people do it.
It could be, as long as things keep going the way it is for horror. You know what I mean? Like, how we're starting to get these more mainstream releases with more press behind them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More stuff getting pushed. So it could be a good thing. As long as things keep going, trending in that direction, I think it should be all right. And we talked a little before, you finally got to see The Batman.
Yeah, finally watched it last night. I loved it, man. I thought it was really fun. I'm surprised that I didn't fall asleep, because I often fall asleep during movies that are that long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I stayed awake through the whole thing. So that's saying something right there.
Being completely honest, I don't mean to cut you off, but up until I watched X, I think The Batman might have been my favorite movie of 22.
Really?
Up to this point. But then X took away. It wasn't.
Now I really want to watch
it. It wasn't 14 hours long. It was what it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like every Batman movie that comes out tries to be more darker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which it was fine. Like it looked fucking amazing. It looked beautiful. Like I told you, my only gripe was the score. Just that same little melody over and over. Then they sprinkle in the fucking Nirvana 18 times, it felt like. You know what I mean? And it just forced you, like, a good movie to me doesn't distract you too much with like the music and stuff. Like, you know, there's always like that little theme, you know, like the Star Wars movies have the theme that stand out. But once the movie's going, you don't rely on the theme. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And this one, it just felt like it was just like forcing you, like, this is how you're supposed to feel, damn it. You know what I mean? And that kind of bugged me. But
I get it. I mean, they were trying to
visually
set the tone. They were trying to set the tone for the
but
film.
They didn't need to. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They didn't need to do it so forcibly.
Yeah.
But everything else about the movie was fucking amazing. Like Robert Pattinson was fucking awesome as Batman.
Yep. I know I've said it before on here, the whole thing with Heath Ledger and, you know, how I wasn't really crazy about another Joker. And I just didn't see him playing the role. But after watching him, I enjoyed it. And so since Heath Ledger playing the role of the Joker, I've basically tried to keep an open mind. And, you know, just because an actor that I'm not crazy about is announced to play a role doesn't mean that I'm not going to like it. So I'm trying to stay open-minded with that. And Pattinson did a great job. Really.
Yeah. Like I'm
looking forward to the next one.
Like, I know he's a great actor. The biggest thing that worried me was like the physical scenes.
Yeah.
But he just always seemed a little light in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, he don't seem like somebody that's going to whoop your ass. But he played somebody that whoop your ass really well in Batman. So, like, I buy it more.
Yeah. It made me want to play Arkham Knight some more, you know, or the Batman games. Because, like, his moves, you know, just felt like they were straight out of the game, or because he was a little bit more aggressive than we've seen Batman, you know, portrayed from previous actors.
Yeah, that's what I mean by every new one. It gets more fucking angrier,
dark and aggressive.
Like,
but I'm glad that he kind of pulled back on the whole, like, where is she?
Yeah, that's why I fucking
we didn't have that in there, which was nice.
That's why I loved what James Gunn did with his stuff. He just made it fun, like superhero shit should be.
Yeah.
Because you think superheroes started in comic books, which were made for fucking kids. And it was fun. And it was good guy versus bad guy. And now the lines are so blurred and just like, sometimes I just need to have, like, I want Superman back. You know, I mentioned earlier Superman Day was yesterday. I want Superman back. I want that good fucking fighting for truth and justice, like good, clean cut Superman. Christopher Reeve. You know what I mean? That's my Superman.
I know what you
good
mean.
Guy.
Yeah.
I don't need this. Like, I didn't you cared about Christopher Reeve when he was getting upended. You know what I mean? When he was losing a fight, you cared. You were like, "Come on, Superman!" But now you see this Superman, you're like, "Fuck! I hope Batman kills you." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and when he dies, you didn't care. You know, I didn't give a shit if Superman died. And was it Justice League or Batman versus Superman? I don't even know which movie is
I
which.
think it was. I think it was
Exactly.
Batman versus
Exactly.
Superman. I don't know.
And
I
speaking
did
of,
fall asleep during that one.
Speaking of Zack Snyder, I saw there's a fucking a book. I was in Barnes and Noble the other day. I was on my way cutting through so I could go take a dump, and I should have brought the book in to use for toilet paper. But it was a book about. I'll send you a picture of it because it seems so unbelievable to me. Like I had to look and be like, did I really see that? It was a book about fucking Army of the Dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, like why is there's like a book about the movie, like picture photo, like they'll make like the big books with all like the images from the movie and like shit background and stuff. Like it was one of those kind of books, and it was like, why is there one for Army of the Dead? Like,
But you bought it though, right? I knew you were a closet Snyder fan.
no, I should have done like I said and brought it in the bathroom with me. But yeah, what were we talking about? The Batman.
we were talking about the Batman movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Before I cut you off, go ahead.
I'm happy with it. I'm very excited to see what happens down the road. I know that they borrowed from the Long Halloween story, and I'm hoping that we maybe get a little bit more of that, because I know in that story, like a bunch of villains escape from Arkham Asylum. So maybe in the next one or the one after that, we'll have something like that go down. But I mean, Batman's never been a happy story. Yeah, it was more lighthearted back in the day, but I like a lot of dark superhero characters, so I'm totally fine with it.
Batman was a superhero that just fought bad guys.
Yeah,
it sounds like you got some villains breaking out of Arkham right there.
Yeah, there's one right here that's trying to tell me that he needs the remote.
Oh well, go ahead and give him the remote and then lock him back up in Arkham. The Joker can babysit. Joker probably does. He probably tells him, he's like, go fuck with your dad. I can't ever say go ruin their podcast and do his fucking laugh. Like, but yeah. So I'm glad you finally got to watch the Batman. Because I know you love all the DC movies. And
I'm gonna jump in and correct you on that.
Yeah. You enjoy them, you don't love them, right?
I don't even enjoy all of the DC movies. I didn't really get into Batman versus Superman. I've never been a Superman fan.
Yeah. When I was little,
I watched a little bit of what was it? Lois and Clark, Adventures of Superman when I was a kid, the show that was on. But I just never really been into the character, and honestly, if it wasn't for Batman, I probably wouldn't follow DC at all. I mean, there's a couple newer ones that I'm into now. Like I like Shazam. Thanks to the live action movie, I thought Shazam was really fun.
It was fun. It was a fun superhero movie.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it felt like DC took notes from Marvel, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna make a Marvel movie."
See, DC should have
good music. It was funny. It was great, but
they should just take notes from themselves and their earlier comics before they took the dark turn back in the 80s. Which is fine. Some of it's really good, but they should have never let that fucking Snyder guy get a hold of it. That was Zack Snyder. Because they have a writer they use a lot named Scott Snyder, who is really good. Like he wrote a great fucking run of Batman a few years back. But let's see. You mentioned the Justice League movies and stuff. Did you see that Jason Momoa is going to be in a live action Minecraft movie. That's
I did. I noticed that. Yeah.
That's kind of.
I
honestly don't really care, but
I don't really care either. I
just
don't
figured
play
I'd mention
Minecraft.
it.
I'm not really a big fan of him, but it's
Like
news.
Like I said, there's very little interesting stuff going on. But there's that. That's the thing. But kind of interesting that Jared Hess from that did the Napoleon Dynamite movie is directing it. So that's kind of a weird, interesting little thing. Let's see what else we got going on. Fantastic Beasts is doing poorly. I was excited about that movie, but it's not making any money. It's off to like a $43 million first weekend, which is way behind the first two movies. But it is what it is, you know. I don't know. There wasn't really any big movies up against it, so I don't see why it did so bad. I don't know if it's maybe like COVID numbers or maybe the holiday. I thought maybe the holiday weekend would help it with everybody being off and doing stuff, but I don't know. The Thor Love and Thunder teaser released, and it looks really good. Taika is the man. I'm usually not really let down by Marvel stuff, so that's a positive. We did see a glimpse of Jane Foster portraying the mighty Thor. She's, of course, Natalie Portman, who plays as her. That's kind of exciting, and it's going to be an interesting little bit in that series, in that movie. And what else we got in my notes here? Okay. They released a trailer for the Shin Ultraman movie, and like Shin did the Godzilla movie a little while back, so this is gonna be like the second movie in the Shin universe. And you know, Ultraman first debuted in Japan in the 60s, and you know, he fights big monsters and stuff, or kaiju, whatever you want to call them. But it's gonna be a new take on Ultraman. And if it's anything good as like they do to Godzilla, it should be pretty awesome. I don't know if you've seen the Shin Godzilla. Probably.
I am just jumping back into the conversation. I was changing a diaper.
Yeah. I was mentioning Ultraman. There's going to be. I'm going to let you borrow the Shin Godzilla movie, and you're going to fucking like it. It's good.
Okay.
You'll dig it. You'll be kind of excited. I mean, this has been a rumor off and on for fucking ever, but I saw on Bloody Disgusting site, which is a great news site. Apparently, excuse me, Lionsgate is actively seeking pitches for the next Leprechaun movie.
Oh, I did hear about that this morning.
Yeah. Darren Lynn Bousman, I think his name is. He did Saw 2 through 4. He did Repo, the Genetic Opera, which was pretty cool. He did Spiral, which was sucked. He's been trying to get Lionsgate to let him do a new installment of Leprechaun for a while now, and if he does it, he definitely wants to bring Warwick Davis back.
Ooh, really?
So
see, I heard about the rumor about a Leprechaun movie possibly happening, but they didn't say anything about Warwick coming back.
Well, if this dude does it, he said he won't do it without Warwick Davis.
Good. Because honestly, I don't really want to see it without Warwick. I mean, I'll try to be open-minded about it, but he played the character for so long. It's kind of like David Duchovny in X-Files, you know, like he was there for so long, and then he leaves and somebody else comes in. You're like,
and it'd be like, it's like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Without Robert Englund, you know what I mean?
Same thing.
Like, that's him.
Right.
That's him.
Right. Like no matter what they do, they are this character now. This is how it goes.
They've been talking about doing another Leprechaun off and on for a long time, so I'm not gonna.
Now, where would you want
him?
Breath. What would you want to go down in this one? Because he's been to outer space. He has been to the hood twice. He's been to Vegas. What do you think should happen?
I'll have to dig up the story again and look at it. But he had kind of like a idea set where he wanted to take place, like early on in the film, like in between 2 and 3, or you know what I mean, 1 and 2. Somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, I mean, maybe they could find a space hood, and they could do, I don't know, like gangster aliens or something. I don't know. Like, where can you really go with it? To be honest, it's goofy, but I love it.
Yeah,
the first one is still the best.
Our friend Craig Sawyer, he had an idea involving Leprechaun at Coachella Festival. I thought that'd be kind of funny.
Remind me of that. What that was?
You'd have to go look at his Facebook, and you could read all about it.
Oh, he wrote something about it. I thought maybe he talked about it with us on the show, and I was like, shit, how did I not remember?
No. It was just like earlier today. I noticed it. He wrote something about
today. Okay.
He wrote something. You could go check it out on Craig Sawyer's page. But he wrote something about like, another Leprechaun meeting, like a relative of Leprechauns meeting him or something like that. Being at Coachella Festival. I don't know. It sounded really interesting though.
I would just like to take all this, the famous monsters like the Leprechaun and Jason and Michael Myers and Freddy, and just let him loose on Coachella and just go around just fucking people up.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I'd like to see more. This is kind of veering left a little bit, but I'd like to see more bands doing movies. I know the Beatles did it back in the day, and the Tenacious D made their movie, which was a big flop, but I love
Kiss
it.
Did it, and it was garbage, but it still did it.
Yep.
And of course, the recent Foo Fighters movie, which was fucking amazing.
And I loved it so much, which makes me feel that way. Like, God, I'd love to see another band do something like this. Like it'd be fitting if Rob Zombie actually like made a movie, with him and his band, and some weird shit happens to him.
See, that could kind of cool. Work. That could work. And actually, you mentioned him. Funny that you mentioned him, but
I think, did I do that on purpose?
I don't think you did, but it kind of worked out well. So he was posting on social media. He showed a look of actor Jeremy Wheeler as Mr. Gateman, who's going to be Herman's boss at the funeral parlor. And it looks cool, man. It looks spooky. Good funeral director. But yeah, he keeps teasing this movie, man, and I'm getting fucking excited. What else did I see? What the hell's her name from the original ones? There's a rumor that Pat Priest, who was Marilyn Munster in the show, might be involved in this movie. Like, there's nothing confirmed, but it's like, just a rumor. Like, she was in the same place at the same time as something going on with some recording or something for the film. So maybe she's doing like some kind of a voiceover thing or something, but we will wait and see with that. I mean, there's rumors that Butch Patrick was involved too. So, but nothing.
I thought I heard. Right. I thought I heard he might have been executive producing or something like that.
Maybe. But I mean, outside of what we got, Jeff Daniel Phillips as Herman. Of course, Rob's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, is playing Lily. She usually gets a prominent role in his films.
Yep.
But she's a solid actress. She plays a good crazy bitch.
And I don't know if anybody happened to see the photo that they put out. I believe it was on Easter or maybe the day before, of just Rob and Sherry together. But Sherry was pretty much in her Lily.
She wearing the split wig. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, she was. And she looked pretty good.
Yeah. Daniel Roebuck, who is somebody I really like. He's like, a character actor, been in like a million fucking things, but he'll do this justice. He's playing as Grandpa Munster, and he's like a horror kid. You know what I mean? He's a monster kid. He grew up loving the monsters. He grew up loving monster movies. This dude has one of the most amazing collections of like memorabilia and stuff. He had a horror host show. He was a horror host. You know what I mean? He loves this shit. So he's gonna do it justice. And I feel like if he thought Rob was doing something not worthy, he probably wouldn't have done it. He seemed like kind of guy that would not do that.
Yeah. Like, no, Rob, you can't put Dr. Satan in the basement.
Yeah. But yeah, I was mentioning people that are already confirmed to be in it. Richard Brake, of course, is going to be in it. Catherine Shell, who I'm not sure if I know her. Dee Wallace, who is, she's a icon in the horror community. She's, the mom in E.T., the mom in Cujo. She was in the TV show Grimm. She's in a lot of shit. She's actually one of the nicest fucking people that I've ever met at conventions. Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, she's in it. There's a lot of cool people that I admire. And, I like Zombie's stuff. I like his movies. I was worried, but like I said, the more he puts out, the more I'm fucking hyped for this.
Yeah, likewise. You mentioned Cassandra Peterson being in it. She is also going to be coming to this year's Seattle Crypticon.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be at the last one and had to cancel. And so she's making up for it and is the latest guest that has been announced. So I assume all the guests are announced at this point. I don't think they're adding anybody.
We might get one more or two small guests, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm really hoping that we can make it and represent the show a little bit there, but we are going to do some promo before the convention to get you guys hyped, because we really think if you're here in the Northwest, you should go to Crypticon. That it's my favorite convention.
Yeah.
It's not huge. It's laid back, but it's just full of just fucking awesome, great panels, great guests, great vendors. This very welcoming. It's a very welcoming crowd. Very open-minded crowd. It's just fun, man. They have it at a great venue. Excuse me. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
If I get to go, even if not, I know we both have enough friends and acquaintances that'll be there, probably covering and sharing pictures, and it'll be like we're there with them. That's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can tell yourself that if it makes you feel better, but I don't know if it's gonna feel quite the same. I mean, this year has a pretty good lineup. I mean, they always do, from what I've noticed. This year looks really good to me, though. I mean, I'd love to attend. Not only do they have Elvira, but Bill Moseley, I believe, was the first guest they even announced.
Yep.
And then there's like a few people from the Child's Play franchise that are coming. You mentioned somebody from Land of the Dead, right?
Oh yeah. Eugene Clark, who played as the zombie, the Big Daddy zombie. He's kind of an iconic zombie. I've met him a couple times at convention. He's like such a nice guy. He's fun. He usually gets in like costume and takes pictures with people and stuff. He's a fun dude.
Well, there's been a lot of different people that have portrayed zombies, but it's cool if you
can that stand out.
Yeah, it's cool if you can say you were a zombie that at least did something different that stands out or whatever. I know you probably know the nickname for the zombie that puts the headphones on.
Oh yeah, Bub.
Bub. Yeah. So at least that zombie stands out amongst the rest of them.
It's like each of those movies have like an iconic zombie or two that really stands out. Like the first one, the first Night of the Living Dead had like the first zombie at the beginning in the graveyard. I think Dawn of the Dead just had a crazy bluish freaking Flyboy, like when he changed, how crazy he looked. Day, of course, had Bub, and then Land had a Big Daddy. It was cool, man. I don't know if he had the intent, if Romero had the intent of these guys to stick out so much and made them such prominent characters, or it just happened to work out that way. It's like just like the like the social commentary that people pick out of his movies, but he says it was never intended. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's just like a fucking genius and didn't realize it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he just accidentally made fucking amazing shit, which is what we're doing right now on the fucking Steven Crypto Show.
Ooh, what a good way to throw that in.
Yeah. Just kidding.
So, hey, before you jump too far away from things happening in the third weekend of May, as we were just talking about Crypticon, that's going down May 20th through the 22nd. So there's another event happening May 20th, and it's out here in our neck of the woods. So Ubiquitous of Cess Crew, formerly of Strange Music, he is making his way out here to Port Hadlock, Washington, to the Crazy Otter on Friday, May 20th. So he's going to be...
Don't we know somebody that's going to be performing on
that? Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
I think so.
Yeah. Wait, am I playing at that show?
I think you are. Did you not know?
Well, I do now.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah, go ahead. The show. When, what, where, how much?
Yeah, Crazy Otter, May 20th. Show doors at 8:00. I believe shows at 9, 21 and up with valid ID. We have performances by Ubiquitous, Jay Fitty and Gifted Youngsters, Jordy Sam and VZ, Crypto Zoo, Nick Fury and Shug, with DJ Jersey on the 1s and 2s. $20 tickets pre-sale, 25 day of show. If you want VIP tickets, they're $35. You get a meet and greet with Ubiquitous.
Crypto Zoo, right? Oh.
Yeah.
How much is the meet and greet with Crypto Zoo?
I don't have a price tag on that, but
you're supposed to say people subscribed on their favorite podcast platform to the Steven Crypto Show get to meet Crypto Zoo at the show.
I was gonna say, if you show me that you're a Patreon member, then you can.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway,
so May 20th.
I'm outside the parking lot. You don't have to pay to talk to me.
They don't let him hang out inside. He has to sit out in the parking lot.
Yeah. But $35 VIP meet and greet with Ubiquitous. You get an exclusive poster as well. Those tickets are limited, and you can only get the VIP tickets online. So make sure you just look up the event on Facebook, and you'll find the link to get in there and get your VIP tickets. It's brought to you by Emerald City Promotions, so you can look them up and find the event as well.
Or you know where to find Crypto. Send him a message, and he'll send you a link.
Yep. And if you are local and you're looking for tickets, if you're even in surrounding areas, if you're in like Clallam County or whatever, I can help you out with tickets as well. Just let me know. Send me a message. I got them. $20 a piece.
Do it.
We're a month away.
So
I just wanted to throw that out there to anybody who might need to plan ahead and get a babysitter or whatnot. You have some time.
Hell yeah. You guys should definitely do that. We are going to jump off, take a quick break, and we're going to come back with our weekly trivia question. And I got a couple more little tidbits I want to mention before we wrap up this week's episode. So we will be right back and meet some of our friends.
Greetings, it is I, Lilith Von Bloodworth from Mondo Creepy. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show.
We all love a good ghost story, but have you ever wondered how it came to be?
Have you ever wanted to dig deeper into the true history of your favorite stories of the macabre?
How about whether or not it really went down that way?
Join us bi-weekly on Ghoulish Tendencies podcast, where we, two paranormal investigators, delve into the depths of the famous and not so famous cases of murder, ghosts, legends, and lore, with a healthy dose of debunking.
I'm Gabby, the resident Mulder.
And I'm Kim, the resident Scully.
And we're your ghostesses of Ghoulish Tendencies podcast, found wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay spooky!
Check out these shows available now on Fearflix.
And welcome to another collection of frightfully good films from Fearflix, Gothic Horrors, with me, your host, Malvolia, the Queen of Screams.
Hey, I'm Pamela Such. You know me from all the Wave movies. And here we are, we're going to play Curse of the Swamp Creature 2.
Hello guys, I'm Rachel Waits.
And I'm Elise Costin.
Welcome to Silent Screams.
I'm Pamela Such.
I'm Monica Hayes. Thank you for tuning in to 70s Grindout on Fearflix.
Hey y'all, I'm Sherry Davis, your host for this wild and untamed collection of horror films from Fearflix. We wrangled up a selection of Texas horrors for this one. Welcome to Lone Star Horrors.
These shows, movies, and much more available now on Fearflix. Download it on your Roku channel store today.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, we are back. It is time for our weekly trivia. We're going to jump right into it. Just remember, message us on Instagram or Twitter. He's CryptoZoo88. I'm the Steve Strout. Message us on the Facebook Steve and Crypto Show podcast group with the answer, and we will send you some stickers and stuff and enter you in a drawing, which we'll do every 2 or 3 months once we get a little list of entrants and try to get a cooler prize, a bigger prize. So
I don't even know what the trivia is yet. I'm excited.
You don't know. I usually don't tell
him. Let's go.
Last week he knew because he got to call that one. Or was it the week before? I don't know. This last couple of weeks has been a blur, man.
Yeah, it was last week I called it.
Yeah. Okay, so what is Norman Bates' hobby in the movie Psycho? Just remember, send us the message. Message us the answer. I mean, you can send the message of the answer to us in our messenger. But what is Norman Bates' hobby in the movie Psycho? It's an easy one. You guys should know this. Do you know this one?
I believe I do.
All right. It is not stamp collecting. I know that's what you were thinking. Like, he likes to color in coloring books. But no. So yeah, message us.
I keep yelling at him to color inside the lines.
Message
he's
us.
A free spirit.
Message us the answer. You know where to find us, so we can send you stuff and hopefully put you in the drawing to send you more stuff. We got I did mention earlier that next week we're gonna have the next week or the week after. We are gonna have Count Gordeval on to keep the horror host series going. We just did that interview and editing and stuff. It's really good. He was awesome to talk to. Just listening to like the legend tell stories is so cool. So I can't wait to share that one with you guys.
Yeah, it was really fun. You guys will dig that.
And speaking of I always try to do some little like weird little segue into something like, Count Gardeval the vampire. There was a Dracula themed project called Mina Harker about Jonathan Harker, not ancestor. Jonathan Harker was the ancestor of Mina Harker, apparently. But Blumhouse was producing this project that got shut down, like literally a couple of weeks before production was to start. That's kind of a bummer. We were going to get a vampire movie.
Yeah.
And it got shut the fuck down. So I don't know. I just thought I'd mention that. It's kind of a bummer. And more related vampire news. I don't know how many of you guys are comic book readers, but Boom Studios has been putting out Buffy the Vampire Slayer comics for a few years now. They've been pretty good. I read a few here and there. They've been really good, sticking with in that whole universe, sticking with the whole, fitting into the canon, if you will. But Buffy is being replaced as like the main Slayer in the new comic series that's starting, and I think it's going to be, I guess, spoiler alert, I guess it's going to be Willow from, I don't know if you watch any of the Buffy series.
I used to, yeah.
She was a cool character, and that was a cool show.
Yeah.
So I might actually dig in and check out the first couple issues of that when it launches and see if it's any good.
I'm curious as to why she's taking over.
There's story behind it, I guess. Like Buffy lost her power. She kind of had like abilities and stuff. Like I guess in the comics she'd lost them somehow. So that's kind of cool. I need to start reading more comics, man. I've been so far behind in comics. It like literally a couple of years I haven't really dug much in. I've dabbled a little, like I grabbed like the first trade of Something Killing the Children, which is really good. A couple months ago. They just launched volume 2, the new story arc for Count Crowley, which is David S. Melton's book, which is awesome. It's like one of my favorite comics in a while. She's literally a horror host that finds out that monsters are real.
Yeah.
And she fights him. Like, what
more
do you need? That's awesome, dude. That's so fun.
The last comic I think I read all the way through was issue 1 of Twisted's Curse of the Green Book, and which was written by Dirk Manning, who has been on the show once before, friend of ours.
I'm actually looking at a couple of his comics right here in front of me, and I'm like, fuck, I need to read these.
That's right. Yeah, he also wrote Butts and Seats, the Tony Schiavone story, which I know you have a copy of. Yeah,
sitting right here in front of me.
Yeah, I need to get one myself. But I finished issue 1 of Curse of the Green Book, and it's a 4-part series. All 4 issues are out now. I know Twisted's Astronomicon is going down this weekend, I believe, in Michigan, and Dirk Manning will be there. So anybody who's out there in that area, go check that out. It's supposed to be a very big convention. I mean, they have people like Corey Taylor from Slipknot, X-Pac and Kevin Nash. Both the Steiner brothers are going to be there. There's Bill Moseley. There's concerts at night. There's like karaoke. There's vendors.
And
all
the
kinds
biggest
of things
star, the biggest star at the event, Danhausen.
That's right. Danhausen's there as well.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I just I read all of that comic, and definitely suggest that one. Check it out. And being a 4-part series, it's not too much to get into.
There's also, I think I might have mentioned it recently on the show, a new miniseries with Godzilla and the Power Rangers in a crossover. I feel like I might have mentioned it, but I picked up. I actually downloaded the issue. I pre-ordered it. I still haven't read it yet, but I picked up a hard copy of it too, because it looks really cool. So I'm gonna get that read. Maybe I'll mention a little something about it next week. Yeah, I mean, that's about covers everything that's really been going on. There ain't really been much.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot. I did think of something else I could throw in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
There is a for anybody out there who remembers the movie Ted. Well, they made two of them. There is a Ted prequel TV series in the works. It sounds like it's going to be going to Peacock. And from what I gathered, it's basically like, let's say 10 years after the world found out that Ted was real. And so the hype has kind of died down a little bit. Like, it's not as much of a big deal anymore. And so this is just supposed to be like 15, 16-year-old John hanging out with Ted and getting into shenanigans, you know? I mean, the thing that I read said that they're probably going to be like dipping into substances and probably trying to get drunk, trying to get laid, all that, you know?
Yeah. You know,
so it'll be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed the movies.
I'll probably check it out. You know what's funny about that is I have a little list of notes here, and I was going to mention because it cracked me up about an incident at Logan Airport in Boston. And I wasn't going to mention it, but since you brought up Ted, you know, it's based in Boston area. Apparently, they had to call in a bomb squad and evacuate like a whole terminal or something at Logan because somebody had a PlayStation in their bag and it went through the X-ray and they thought it was a fucking bomb and it was the PlayStation, and it caused like a big chaotic moment and people were like running and falling and shit. Like that's funny. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you mentioned Ted and Boston and stuff, so there's that. I guess yeah, that's about it. I actually, people who are into, obviously listen to us, they're into spooky shit. I guess we're not that spooky, but we like spooky stuff. Kind of stupid, I guess. That's sort of spooky. But people who dig spooky and supernatural stuff will be glad to hear that Zach Baggins, you know, for a Ghost Adventures guy, he signed a 3-year deal with Discovery Plus to produce like, I think it was like 100 hours of content or something through 2025. So Ghost Adventures is going to keep going. He recently joined forces, which intrigued me. He is doing a semi-scripted series, The Haunted Museum, and it provides like cinematic take, like the tales of like the items that he has on display in his museum, Zach Baggins' museum in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's going to be like kind of like a creep show kind of thing. You know what I mean? How it has like the little stories within it. I think it's going to be little stories about these items, like little mini haunting stuff.
The history behind them or whatever.
Yeah, behind the artifacts.
Yeah.
He's doing it with Eli Roth, though, who is fucking
cool.
Awesome. So that's pretty cool. But I think that about eats up our time here today. Not that we have a time limit, but to be honest, I'm fucking out. I'm clean out of stuff to talk about. Like
so
right
I
now,
can keep rambling, but you're gonna leave.
I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, we're kind of recording last minute because we had, like I said, computer issues and we had some other hiccups yesterday on Superman Day. You ruined Superman Day, just saying. But no, but we do have some cool shit in the works. I said we got Count Gordeval coming on. We have an entrepreneur in the horror industry is going to be joining us very soon. I've been talking with another like legend, like one of the horror host greats, to come on. We've been exchanging emails, getting this planned. That's going to be soon. What else? We're going to do some previews. We're going to talk to a couple of vendors and stuff that have online presence that are going to be appearing at Crypticon in Seattle. Like, even if you can't be there, I'm going to introduce you to some cool vendors He got some cool stuff. Like one of both of our favorite area artists is this guy named Eli Wolf. Who,
I love his work.
His work is he does like these crazy like pop culture mashups that a lot of times involve horror icons, and it's cool. It's fun shit. Like him and another a retailer friend of ours who deals with a lot of like celebrity autographs and Funko Pops and a lot of cool shit. Just cool stuff, man. Like I said, Crypticon has a bit of everything, and we're gonna try to show a little bit of it to you guys that might not be able to get there. What else do we got? There's something else I wanted to mention, but
did you want to mention that you recently put up some new content on Patreon? I think you mentioned that earlier, but why not?
But I just
throw that out there one more time.
Fun stuff on Patreon, patreon.com/SteveCrypto. Get over there, pledge whatever you can. You can do as low as $1 a month to fucking $1 million a month, but don't do that, because if you like listen to us and you pledge $1 million, after 1 month, I'm fucking quitting the show and I'm out. Peace.
And you set the bar extremely high by doing that. It makes us feel like we really have to give you like our left foot or something, you know?
Yeah. No.
And it costs more than that for my left foot.
But you know, when you have a thought and you just fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Fucking the end of the month. Joe Bob's back. Joe Bob's back the end of the month. New season of The Last Drive-In. How could I forget about that? It's like after waking up next to my beautiful fiance, watching Joe Bob's old ass on Friday nights, talking about shitty movies is my other highlight. So I can't wait for that. It's the 29th, I think. So let's get ready, guys. Like I said,
there you go.
One more time, patreon.com/SteveCrypto. Both of us on Twitter, Instagram. He's CryptoZoo88. The Steve Strout. We got the Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. Merch.
Yep. Go to Etsy.
He memorized the merch link, so tell him.
Etsy/shop/Steve and Crypto merch. Go look that up. We have t-shirts, we have coffee mugs, magnets, all kinds of cool stuff. Go check it out. Let's see. What else is there to cover?
That's it. We covered it all.
Yeah,
that's
everything. I think we got it.
I guess we just got to cover a goodbye and good night and talk to you guys next week. And we missed you the last couple of weeks, even though we were here, but we were kind of not here, if that makes sense. That's weird. I'm gonna stop now.
Well, you know, our town does have a little bumper sticker with a saying that says "We're all here because we're not all there." So maybe you can apply that to our show.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish our town would just listen to our show, to be honest. But with that being said,
maybe they're not cool enough.
There you go. But like I said, you guys listen to us, and that's all that matters.
Are cool, and that's what we care about.
That's what we care about. And I am Steve.
I'm CryptoZoo.
Bye, guys.
We'll catch you on 75. Peace.